Arthur weighed 280 pounds of pure, unadulterated apathy. At 17, high school was a waking coma where he sat in the back row, invisible to everyone except the lockers he regularly brushed against. At home, the atmosphere was thick enough to chew. His parents screamed nightly over bills that arrived like eviction notices, turning their kitchen into a war zone of unpaid electricity and final notices. Arthur coped the only way he knew how. He ate, and when he couldn't eat, he retreated into a hollow, depressed fog. Then, he discovered the loophole. It started innocently at the local Burger King. Arthur slipped into the men's room at 9:55 p.m., locking himself in a stall with his phone on silent until the jangling keys and clicking deadbolts signaled the closing crew had locked up and gone home. When the building fell completely silent, Arthur emerged like a nocturnal god into the fluorescent-lit sanctuary. Freed from judgment, he went absolute hog wild. He didn't just make burgers, he engineered monstrosities. He fused double quarter-pounder patties with chicken tenders, stuffed mozzarella sticks into the crust of breakfast biscuits, and drowned the abominations in rivers of sweet and sour sauce and melted cheddar. He ran the soft-serve machine until mountains of vanilla ice cream collapsed onto the stainless steel counters, topped with crushed Oreo cookies and syrup stolen from the drive-thru station. After gorging himself into a food coma, Arthur stripped off his damp clothes and climbed into the restaurant's industrial 3-part wash sink. He turned on the hot water tap, filling the basin to the brim, and soaked his massive frame, scrubbing away the day's shame with dish soap, while floating French fries like rubber ducks around his belly. For the first few weeks, the staff remained entirely oblivious, chalking up missing inventory to standard supply chain shrinkage. But Arthur's ambition escalated. He grew bolder, transitioning from Burger King to Wendy's, then to McDonald's. He started leaving his mark. He rearranged the drive-thru headsets to play death metal at 3 a.m., smeared ketchup across the drive-thru windows in cryptic, abstract murals, and left towering pyramids of half-eaten, deep-fried creations in the middle of the dining rooms. Within a month, local news stations were running segments on the elusive Midnight Glutton. Grainy, motion-activated security cameras captured only a massive, swaying silhouette moving through the shadows like a cryptid, half man, half grease stain. The town was fascinated, but Arthur's internal motivation was shifting from midnight chaos to sheer desperation. He watched his parents crying over a foreclosure notice on the kitchen table. He saw the genuine terror in his mother's eyes. The midnight feasts stopped being just about comfort. They became a mission. Underneath the grease-stained countermats, Arthur found the key to saving his family. He stopped raiding the fryers and started targeting the digital combination safes. Armed with a screwdriver and sheer teenage audacity, he cracked his first safe at a franchise on 4th Street, stuffing $3,000 into his oversized hoodie. Over the next week, he hit 3 more locations. He felt like a criminal mastermind, a dark, heavy-set phantom robbing the corporate beasts blind to keep his parents afloat. He left the stolen cash neatly bundled in envelopes inside their mailbox before dawn, watching from his window as his mother wept tears of absolute relief. The police task force was relentless. Every squad car in the county was on high alert for the silhouette. It all culminated on a rainy Tuesday night at a 24-hour drive-thru location on the edge of town. Arthur had slipped inside hours earlier, bypassed the safe with a crowbar, and stuffed a canvas bag with $12,000. As he turned toward the back exit, the heavy metal door burst open. Spotlights slashed through the darkness. 3 police officers flooded the kitchen, service weapons drawn, shouting commands to freeze. Panic seized Arthur's chest. In his frantic search for a way out earlier that evening, he had found a cheap plastic squirt gun left behind by a toddler in the play area. Desperate and terrified, half delusional from exhaustion and sugar, Arthur had grabbed a can of matte black spray paint from the maintenance closet and coated the toy, thinking it would buy him a second of hesitation. As the lead officer lunged forward, Arthur pulled the painted plastic pistol from his waistband, his hands trembling violently. "It!" the officer screamed. Arthur raised the toy, his voice breaking as he tried to explain, to tell them about the rent, about the bills, about the kitchen table. Before he could speak, the kitchen erupted in a deafening crackle of gunfire. The heavy rain continued to drum against the roof of the fast food joint as the sirens wailed outside, echoing through a town that would spend the next week debating the legend of the Hamburglar, never truly knowing the heavy, broken boy who lived inside the shadow.